Crypto update. In this short video, I'm going to share with you all of the key charts and economic data that have got me feeling more bullish than ever. That's right. Despite the fact the market being full of fear and worry right now, actually, I believe we're about to move from disbelief into belief. And I'm going to prove it to you in this video. So if you're feeling at all worried about what's happening in crypto, or you want to know what's going to be happening next so that you can prepare properly, make sure you hit the like button and let's get into today's video. Hey guys, and welcome to the School of Crypto. Unlike my main channel, the House of Crypto, over here we're much more focused towards day trading as well as tutorial based content. So if you want to understand exactly what's going on in the markets and become a smarter, more profitable trader, then make sure you're subscribed and notification bell turned on. Now guys, before we jump into all of the key charts, I want you to think about something. I get it. Right now you're feeling a little bit worried and bearish. And that's probably because this morning you woke up, you turned on Crypto Bubbles or one of the exchanges, and you saw your portfolio looking a little bit like this. And you didn't feel great about it. And I understand, because this is my portfolio. But let me explain something quickly. The biggest, best indicator in all of crypto isn't the charts. It isn't YouTube videos. It is literally just the market sentiment. And in fact, it's how you personally feel today about what's going on in crypto. Let me explain. You see, Bitcoin right now sits at $108,400. And if you look at a weekly chart and zoom out a little bit, things are looking pretty damn good. I think you'll agree. But I've started to see people saying that this is the top of the market. But let me explain something for a moment. Do you remember how you were feeling back in December with your altcoins and your Bitcoin? Or how about in March in 2024? Or back to the top of the last bull markets? I guarantee that you didn't feel like you felt now. In fact, at those times, you were planning your luxury holidays. You were paying off your mortgage. You were buying that car or doing whatever it was. You were pumped up about what was going on in crypto. And in fact, you were trying to sell everything you owned in the real world, put more money into the space. The fact that you were doing that was an indicator that there was a good chance that we would see a pullback. Now, I didn't expect to see a pullback quite as drastic as this, but we did see a pullback all the same. The fact that you're not feeling like this right now means that this can't possibly be the end of the bull market, because the end of the bull market doesn't come when people are feeling sad and worried. It comes when everyone's in euphoria, and that's for a very good reason. Whales, smart money, funds, banks, all need people like you, normal people in crypto, to be thinking that markets are going to go up forever, because they need you to be buying while they start to sell. They can't sell to you right now, and in fact, they're buying off you right now while you're all fearful and worried. If you do literally the opposite of your emotions during these crypto markets, you tend to do all right. The majority of people, however, act on emotions, and that's why the majority of people lose. So above all things, pay attention to the sentiment. It is the key. Now, before we get into charts, let me explain something else that tells you that we're nowhere near the top of the bull market. And by understanding we're nowhere near the top of the bull market, you know that things are going to be getting better really soon. Now, crypto represents some point along the risk curve. Now, I know you're going to be like, oh, this sounds like economics. That's boring. But please, just stick with me. If you do anything today, stick with me on this, because it's going to really help you out more than you can ever imagine. Crypto is a point on the economic scale when we talk about risk versus risk off. Now, in times where we have risk off environments, banks and funds and whatever, they want to invest in bonds and treasuries and boring stuff that gets you like a 5% yield. This means they can put in trillions of dollars, make 5%, they're happy. But guess what? As we move towards risk on, we see increase in inflation. We see more money printing. We see other things going on that mean that the dollar or other currencies around the world starts to get devalued. And this is a problem, because if you've got trillions of dollars making 5%, but the devaluation of the very asset that you're holding is bigger than 5%, it means that even if you're making 5%, you're losing money. Because if your dollar is losing 10% of value each and every year, but you're only able to make 5%, you're losing 5% of the worth of that asset. This is where everything gets very exciting, because right now we're seeing inflation going up. We're seeing money printing going up. And all of the funds and banks are now taking huge pain in the bonds market. Guess what they're going to have to do? They're going to be forced out the bonds market into riskier assets without necessarily wanting to, whether they like it or not. They're forced down the risk curve. And guess what's in the risk curve? Tech, equities. And when you see equities, think crypto, very closely aligned with the stock market. Initially, we see Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going up right now because it is preempting these moves. And when we start to see major floods of money coming down the risk curve, that's when altcoin season comes in. That's when everything goes absolutely crazy. And we are here right now, anticipating more money printing happening, more pressure to be put on these bonds, utilities, etc., to be pushed down into the exciting times. The euphoria phases come when this ends up down here. You get me? So things are much better than many people are letting on. The fear and worry in the markets right now is fine. Just ignore it, okay? Stop looking at 5-minute charts. Get out, look at the weekly charts. Things are looking fine. Okay, Bitcoin's going to have another leg up. When it does, Ethereum's going to pop and the altcoins as well. On that note, let's have a look at some charts. You see, first things first, Bitcoin following the M2 money supply. You can see right now, this is where we're at, okay? Pretty much here, pretty much where Bitcoin's all-time highs were at back on the 23rd of December, okay? Following this, you can see another leg up coming here and then another major leg up until the 11th of August. And it's going to continue because the dollar's going to continue to lose value, okay? We are in a major bull market. It's just very, very early, and the altcoins are yet to reflect that kind of greed and excitement returning to the markets. But things are very slowly starting to show more excitement is entering. So in no particular order, let's start with this. Let's turn off the M2 money supply because it's a little confusing. This is total 3, which is the total market cap of crypto minus Bitcoin minus Ethereum. Now, I've shown you a very similar looking chart in previous videos with Doge, okay? I talked to you about finding good trading setups where you have a nice pullback, we then have a nice rounded base and we put in that top, and then we do that. Okay, Doge did this. Doge is now starting to do that again. Okay, it's just having a little pause, but eventually it will do this. Now, the total market cap of crypto minus Bitcoin and minus Ethereum is doing something very similar. Okay, we had that push down. We've had that little cup. Okay, we're having that little pause like Doge is having right now. And the next move is continuation. And that continuation will break this trend line here, which sends the total market cap of crypto minus Bitcoin and Ethereum above $1 trillion again. And this is in fact the price target for this, okay, which sits at $1.5 trillion. It means 50% is going to be added in value. Now, on a shorter term chart, because we've been chopping around for the last few weeks, it's got everyone panicking and worried again. Okay, because everyone's still in the mindset of what happened before. They don't really know what's driving behind the scenes. Okay, so if we look into the daily chart, you can see that we are just holding these lows, building up, and we are literally running out of time. Within the next day or two, this is going to be forced out of here. Okay, and when this gets forced out of here, suddenly altcoins pop. It's very, very close to happening, but nobody is paying attention. Let me show you another chart that's going to give you more confidence. This is the others chart. This one is the coins or the altcoins outside the top 10. What does it look like? Like Doge. Comes down, makes this nice little cup, and look, made a little symmetrical triangle. When this pops out of here, it's going to send. And when this sends, this is where the kind of mid to smaller cap altcoins start to see confidence. Notice how Bitcoin did a very, very similar thing. Okay, it ran down here, it made its cup, it broke up. This is the risk curve. It sees Bitcoin first, and it sees like Ethereum. Then it goes to the large caps, and then some of the smaller caps will start to react. And sometimes you have front runners, okay, like Sui. But this is just the same thing. You're just a bit worried, a little bit flat right now, and it's because the altcoins are not doing much. Many people are just talking about Bitcoin dominance, but it's all to do with the risk curve. It's all to do with that move from the bonds and treasuries down into like real estate and equities and stocks. Bitcoin, crypto. Remember how the last bull market ended back in 2021? People were buying insanely expensive NFTs, like pictures of rocks, for like $1.5 million. I actually invested a lot of money in NFTs over the last few days because I started to see them slowly creeping up. And I think that's another indicator that things are about to change. Ethereum right now is also looking very key. In the past altcoin season, we see Bitcoin pop, and then Ethereum goes. And look, this is an ascending triangle. Many people are like, oh, it's been rejected. It hasn't. Look, it's broken out. It's come back to retest. I anticipate this moves. This is going to move, okay? And then it's going to push up higher and higher and higher. In the next few weeks ahead, there's a very good chance that we find Ethereum somewhere up here, somewhere around here. And eventually, it might not happen straight away, Ethereum breaks out of this. And when it does, it goes bananas. Okay? It goes bananas, and it sends a signal to the wider crypto market that altcoin season is on, and the altcoins rally like crazy. But I know you're looking at altcoins that you're holding like this and being like, yeah, but AGI or Delesium, it's all the way down here. Guys, this is literally what happens. Smart money accumulates like this. All of a sudden, a signal gets sent to the exchanges, whatever it is. Market makers pump the markets like crazy. Suddenly we flick from kind of disbelief, a little bit of fear, to suddenly like, wow, it's a bull market, we need to buy. And all of a sudden, everyone just apes into the markets. Look at it. Look at it. It goes sideways. It does nothing. And then bang. In 2 weeks, this is, or 3 weeks, back in the start of 2024, Delesium goes up 13x. Okay? Had a little run here. I do believe from here, this coin's going to see some upside. And I'm not saying go and buy this, okay? And I'm not saying go and buy this. I'm just using it as an example. A coin that's seen a lot of pain slowly turns around, comes back up. This is Hello Labs. Sensei, a coin that I'm personally holding, came all the way down here. But look at how quickly it can go back up, okay? If you're nice and calm right now, just stay focused. If you've done your hard work, Sensei went up 9x in just over 3 weeks. It's gonna happen again. We're already seeing the early stages of it, and Bitcoin is your clue. The sentiment is another clue. Now, hopefully that's calmed things down. If you want to know exactly what kind of like altcoins and things I'm holding, over the next couple of days on the House of Crypto, I'm going to make a small cap coin video of coins I'm holding and a large cap video of coins I'm holding. Okay, so if you want to see those, make sure you subscribe to the House of Crypto as well as the School of Crypto. Also, if you want to sort of get involved a little bit more with crypto and start to really become an expert and understand exactly what's going on behind the scenes, understand exactly the coins I'm personally buying into, understand what's happening on a day-to-day basis, and be able to ask me questions about things like I've just talked about, then I recommend that you check out the Moon House, because the Moon House is the VIP group for the House of Crypto and the School of Crypto. Over here, myself and 2 other full-time crypto experts share only the most useful and important news and data. We also share the various different altcoins that we're buying into at any given time and the reasoning behind why we're getting into those altcoins. There's also a comments and questions section where you can ask questions and myself and the experts will respond to those questions. People have been sharing their portfolios recently. We've been giving feedback on portfolios. People are really starting to up their game. And in fact, every single week, we also have a live Zoom call where we go over in much more depth what's going on in the wider crypto markets, and we have Q&A sections on that. And in fact, straight after I finish recording this video, I'm going to jump on a Zoom call with my community over there. So if you want to join the Moon House, then make sure you find the link down below if you want to really start to up your game in crypto. Now guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it useful. Okay, we will look more into trading tomorrow or probably on Saturday on a video over on the School of Crypto. So make sure you don't miss out on that. If you got this far through and you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. Also leave a comment down below. It really helps me out more than you could ever imagine and helps me get this content to more people. Also go and share this video with other people who need to know about what's happening in crypto, because very soon there's going to be a lot of people asking you what's going on. So make sure you get them in before the hype and excitement arrives, because in my opinion, now is really one of your last opportunities. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.